Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel of crafting, crochet and knitting. My name is Nikki and welcome to Vlogmas day 13. So I am in need of another break because I have been working on those sheep and the angels and I'm hurting ever so slightly, so I need to take a break. And I thought, well, I could try and make another bauble because they were nice little projects. And I will make some more baubles, but I decided that actually today I didn't fancy that. I wanted to try something new. And part of me feels like this was a terrible idea because I have got enough going on with the nativity things and the baubles, and having only relatively recently finished the Christmas jumper. I've also got an old jumper that I frogged back and haven't restarted yet. So I have no business starting something new. Except that this is December, things are busy enough as it is in the run-up to the break I will finally get at Christmas. I should be able to knit what I want. so I am still going to do the nativity, but not today. Today I'm having a break, and I did start knitting up something and it was very refreshing. But the reason that this thing was on my mind has a bit of a backstory. So I thought today I could share with you a little adventure that I'd been on, a couple of sneaky acquisitions, and then what it was that was on my mind and what I've been working on today. Sound good? So my little adventure was a road trip to a pop-up yarn stall in the Peak District. It turned out to be a really nice day in November, which is shocking because we've had some terrible weather in the UK recently. But it was a really nice day, so I got to have a drive out through the countryside in beautiful weather, even though it was a little bit chilly, and found myself in the Peak Village for a Ducky Darlings yarn shop, pop-up yarn shop. So on the one hand, this was potentially a bad idea because I knew I was going to come away with something. On the other hand, I liked their yarn and I thought, it's a beautiful day, let's just go for it. So first, a non-yarny acquisition. These. I am slightly hooked, aren't I? I've already got a massive pile of different doodle decks, and yeah, I went and bought the travel one, the baking one, and the holiday one. Fun fact, if you're wondering why this is holiday 3 and you don't know where holiday 2 and holiday 1 have been, that's because they got absorbed into the winter deck. I found this out recently because I was confused about why I had Ocean 2 and there wasn't an Ocean 1, and the same thing happens for holiday 3 because it's in the winter deck, which that already upsets my collector soul, right? But there are some excellent motifs in here, so I couldn't resist. That's my non-yarny acquisition, number 1. I have some yarn as well in a bag down here, so let me grab some to show you. We were relatively good. So the first thing I got was this. I'm so sorry that the lighting is shocking today. Let me see if I can fix this. Is that better? I'm not sure that's any better. Okay, well, this is a bluey grey colour. In fact, I'm going to pop this back onto the previous. This is probably the worst day for me to show you what I got. It's like a bluey grey, steely grey, with lots of fluorescent little neps in them. So some pink ones, like fluorescent pink, fluorescent green, fluorescent orange, your classic highlighter colours. And I don't know if they are going to fluoresce fully under UV or not, or whether it's just a pop of colour, but I want to try something with bright neps in them, and this sort of teal colour is one that I quite like, so I just got the one skein. And you know what, part of me is thinking that I might do something like a Sophie scarf or something. like that. I want to see if I can work out how to do the I-cord edge, but I'll come back to that. So it's just a superwash merino Donegal Nep 4-ply. It's a 85-15 neon Neps. So I mean, that feels like a lot. Does that really mean that this is all 100% superwash merino except for the flex, and the flex is 15% flex? I wouldn't have said that's 15%, but okay. So that's slightly confusing, but it's very pretty. And then I found several colours I liked, and I restricted myself to 2 pairings. So the first pairing I am really worried is not going to show up well in this lighting. Oh, it really doesn't, does it? What if I... Okay, bear with me. Does that make it better? Okay, temporarily, there you go. There's the colour. Let me get the other one back out. You know, it's meant to be Christmas, not Halloween. You can kind of see the colour. It's a bit bright still, isn't it, for that one? But you can see this is a plummy purple colour, and then a tealy greeny matching purple mix. So I'm going to pop the light back now. Everything's going to look dark now, isn't it? So these colourways are Poison and Goosebumps, which makes me think these probably came from some sort of Halloween collection. But I love the purple. I love the tealy green that is going on, that has been paired with the purple. And I recently, you might have seen on the podcast already, I recently got a pair of purple trousers that I did not think were going to work at all, and now they're just one of my favourite things ever. I wear them with this jumper all the time, and this is going to be such a great match for that I was thinking I could make myself some sort of really nice shawl with this pairing, that I can wear the shawl with maybe this, or with another outfit, with another t-shirt, and then those purple trousers, and that will tie it together all very nicely. So that is what I've got here. Possible I could turn it into something other than a shawl if I've got something else similar in my stash, but I wasn't thinking full-blown garment for this yarn, and I felt I needed something very similar out of these next 2. So I'm going to try it on the screen again, and if not, that one's not as bad. I might not need to move the light for this, just hold it over here. So we have got Sequoia? Might be Sequoia, and Hedgerow. So we have these in a merino yak nylon, so a 70-20-10%, 4-ply, beautiful burgundy colours, and then as a matching burgundy in this, but with those nice autumnal browns, pinks and oranges. So I really love that. Again, burgundy is a massive aesthetic for me. I've got a coat that this will match perfectly, so I thought again something shawly as well out of that. I'm going to end up with a lot of shawls, and I don't often wear shawls generally. I tend to wear them when I go to work, but not when I'm just in the house. But I'm going to end up with quite a lot of them at this rate, I think. And then I did also get some very cute little notions as well, so excuse the rustling, but we have got some paw print needle stoppers. I thought they were adorable. Importantly for the season, some Christmassy needle stoppers. So I don't have any Christmassy needle stoppers yet, so I really ought to put those on my next project, shouldn't I? And then this is so cute. This is a Ducky Darlings yarn ball pin. So I have bought pins from Ducky Darlings before, and they are so cute, and I had to have this one as well. So yes, a few little notions too. Okay, so I've just spoken rather a lot about my acquisitions at this pop-up yarn stall, but not about my day and about the thing that has spurred on this whole conversation. So let me just tell you a little bit about that. First off, absolutely lovely day. I stayed, well, not a whole day, obviously. I had to drive out there, that took me a while, but beautiful weather, beautiful scenery. I stayed there for about an hour and a half, knitting with some of the ladies there who were chatting and giving their opinions on a certain television show, and then beautiful drive back with my acquisitions. But whilst I was there, as is typical in a yarn shop situation, you may have garments that have been made out of certain yarn to showcase the yarn, or out of certain patterns to showcase the patterns. And in the shop was a particular shawl made with some of their yarn, and it was really quite pretty and intriguing. So this is the Midnight in Berlin shawl. I will put a link in the description and the designer's name up here and what have you, and a photo. Oh, maybe not a photo because I want to show you what I've been doing. So I saw this shawl and I thought this is really intriguing, and it's mosaic knitting and I wanted to have a go. I have been wanting to try some different techniques for a while, and this looked like a nice practical thing I could do. Triangle shawls, I like triangle shawls, so I could at this point have bought the pattern and started the project. But of course, if you've been here for a little while, you'll know that I am one of those knitters who derives enjoyment from the process, the mathematics, the science of the knitting. So I wanted to work this out myself. And I've had varying degrees of success in the past with trying to work out how something materialises from photos rather than buying the pattern. This has not gone well for me with certain garments, and we will have to rip those back at some point and work on them again. But this was a shawl, so if it ends up too big or ends up too small, then it doesn't matter. And I'm not necessarily going to make the whole shawl. I just kind of want to work out how to do mosaic knitting based off of just the snippet of information that I've seen before, which is that mosaic knitting is a type of colour work using slip stitches. So I cast on some scrappy yarn and I started trying to emulate this pattern by slipping stitches where I thought stitches needed to be slipped, and it went reasonably well. So here is my attempt at the start of a Midnight in Berlin shawl. I'm having issues with the light again if I hold it here. So yeah, it's this lovely basket weaving pattern, and it grows into a triangle shawl. Now, the trick I found with my first few attempts, for which I should have a picture in there somewhere, is that I was getting some really wonky edging, and also that the pattern wasn't coming through in the way that it looked like it should be doing. And then I drew out a chart to try and work out what was going on, and realised that there was some interesting pattern counting happening, and that I'm not going to say too much more than that because it's obviously a paid for pattern and I don't have the rights to it. But when I worked it out, I was very impressed with the designer for coming up with this construction. And so I would say that if you're looking for a mosaic knitting project, then absolutely follow the link in the description. Go and check out this designer, whether it's the Midnight in Berlin shawl or some of her other work, because I fully think that they worked amazingly on this. But I'm also really happy that for once I've tried to work out how something was made, and I have been able to work that out. I feel like I've acquired the skills in my knitting now to be able to do this on some patterns. Maybe not garments, but on flat knitting work. I'm really happy with how this went. So yeah, I've just cast on this little snippet, and I'm not necessarily going to be getting around to making this into a huge proper shawl anytime soon, because obviously I'm working on the nativity, but I just thought I would share that with you today because I've been enjoying it and it's been a nice break, and it's easier to carry this around than it was to carry around my Christmas jumper when I was knitting out and about. So that's what I'll probably do. I will probably take this when I go out and about and knit some on it, just randomly throughout the month when I have time. So yeah, that was my little adventure. That was my little my session of acquisitions and my little project experiment. So thank you for joining me today for Vlogmas Day 13, and we will be back tomorrow with something else as well. Bye for now.